Hey guys, today I wanted to make a video that's a bit more serious, I guess, and it's a video I wanted to make about another video that Buzzfed made, and I think it's called Coloured People from Around the World Respond to the Word White. I'll leave the link down in the description box below, and yeah, basically what I want to say is that I found it really hurtful as a clearly white person. Yeah, and I just wanted to make kind of like a video response, responding to the comments some of those people made in the video. I'm not going to comment on all the comments, obviously, because I do agree with some of them. They are definitely right in some points, but some of the comments, actually most of them, really offended me. And yeah, I know I am probably going to get hate for this. I'm going to be called a butthurt white girl. But yeah, I honestly don't care anymore. So yeah. So the first person said when she thinks of white, she thinks of privilege, power, access, and luxury. Yes, I do have many privileges, but then again, that's not hard for any of us in the Western civilization, white or coloured. I mean, just considering how poorly most of the world's population is living. I could be a coloured hobo and still have a massive amount of privileges over, say, the huge amount of people dying of starvation in Africa. And to the person who said this, may I point out that you with certainty have a huge amount of privileges over many people, even over many white people, and as far as I can see, you're coloured. Now to power. I live in a democracy, thankfully, in Germany, so I have the same amount of power as most adult citizens in my country, be they coloured or white. In fact, as far as I know, it's like that in most democratic countries. And I mean, speaking of power, what did or do Barack Obama and Nelson Mandela have, if not power? Now to the point of access. Yes, I do have access to many things, and I'm so thankful for that. I mean, I have access to free education, and that's awesome. But then again, so does everyone in my country, black or white or coloured, including all the refugees that are coming in right now, which is a buttload. Luxury. I am a middle-class citizen. I live in a perfectly normal house. I don't live in a Kim Kardashian mansion or anything. I share this house with 4 other family members, and most of my classmates, who are also white, by the way, they live in small town flats. Not in huge, luxurious mansions with a pool and a sauna or anything. In fact, the luxurious houses I know are the ones that belong to all the Indian families I grew up around when I grew up in Africa. Then another person said something along the lines of, white is a race, some good, some bad, you can't be critical of all whites. Yeah, I mean, not all people are that bad. I mean, some of them are okay, but most of them are really total hypocrites. Okay, fine. Then someone else said white is a way of being. Yeah, I live in a totally white way. Wait, what does that even mean? Oh, it's probably just like all white people think the same way, just like all black people or all coloured people think the same way in their coloured way of being. Whites are a group of people who don't want anything to do with black people, is basically something another person said. Okay. Like I said, I grew up in Africa. There was more black people at my school, coloured people, than white people. Pretty much all of my friends were coloured. pretty much all friends from other white people I knew were coloured. Um, yeah, that just proves the point that that is so not true. And I have so many friends, white friends here in Germany, that want to do a gap year in Africa or South America, and they're just looking for contact to new cultures and, yeah, coloured people basically. So, what are you trying to say? Are you trying to say, oh, poor coloured people, no one loves us? You know, we're making an effort, I'm making an effort. And then you say something like that. It just kind of, you know, what am I even trying for? Then another lady said Whiterun controlled and system were associations of hers. And yes, I totally agree that white people in positions of power have done a lot of bullcrap to coloured people. I totally agree on that, and I do not deny it. But can my generation of white people really be held responsible for what our ancestors did, or what some random white men decades and even centuries ago did? Um, it's not our fault we were born their descendants. We can't choose as who we're born, just like you can't choose as who you're born. And I can speak on behalf of myself, and I'm pretty sure uh, all of my friends and a vast majority of white people are incredibly sorry for what their ancestors did. Um, we find it just as wrong and disgusting as you do. I mean, things are changing. I already brought up the topic of Barack Obama and Nelson Mandela. I mean, obviously, there is still a lot of white people in positions of power who just totally abuse that power. I mean, just look at Donald Trump. But just look at the huge amount of refugees that Europe, the white population of Europe, um, the white politicians are welcoming, especially here in Germany. And I know so many people, including my white mum and my white self, who do uh, volunteer work to help those people out. I mean, we're making an effort. Then this kid said something along the lines of, we're not understanding, we don't acknowledge what happened in the past, and we don't try to understand it, we deny it. If only you knew all the stuff I've been taught in history class, along with all my other white friends. I'm pretty sure I understand more about world history than you do, okay? I don't know how old you are, and like I said, I know what happened, I don't deny it, and I think it's wrong and disgusting. And by the way, I always thought history class at school was really interesting. So I did try to understand it, and I did a lot of it off my own accord. I watched a ton of documentaries on World War II, which, by the way, are streamed here all of the time to help people understand what happened and to avoid it happening again. Then this guy said, white means arrogant and naive. Those are two very strong things to accuse a very big part of the world population of, and quite frankly, I think you are the one being arrogant and naive for saying those things and accusing so many people of those things without even knowing them personally, despite even having seen them ever. And I think me and all other white people have every right to be offended by those accusations if you don't even know us. Then a lady said something along the lines of, not all of them wallow shamelessly in their privilege, but those who do are generally men. Two things are going on here. Firstly, again, it sounds kind of like, you know, not all of them, but most of them. And then you're making prejudices against white men. Then someone said, the further away you get from white, the harder life can be. I mean, yeah, okay, I agree with that. I get it, but is it my fault? You know, I'm totally deliberately trying to make your life harder. Then someone said that controlling figures, white people. And like I said, I completely agree with that. But those controlling figures don't represent all white people, and they don't represent me. Then a lady said, they are the average person, just people in general. I mean, yeah, that's true, and it sucks. But again, is it my fault? Is it the majority of white people's fault? No. Maybe filmmakers are responsible for this, toy makers, whatever. But it is not my fault. And, I mean, they're working on it. Slowly, but they're working on it. I mean, have you seen the new Barbies? I'm pretty sure you actually made a video on that. And someone else said, white means only being helpful as long as it benefits them. Again, I am going to refer to the massive, massive amount of refugees we have taken in here in Europe, and all the help we're giving them. And it is definitely not benefiting us in really any way whatsoever. Also, I'm vegan. Yeah, totally self-centered and only care about myself. Then someone said, white means wanting equality without giving up any of the power. Yes. Yes, I want equality, and no, I do not want to give up any of my power. Because if I was to give up the power, the freedom of speech I have in this democracy, then you could completely forget equality. And then someone said something along the lines of that they want to be seen as a person, and I see you as a person. I see everyone in your video as a person. I see all coloured people as people. I see all people as people, whatever colour. But I think white people have the right to being seen as people as well, and I think I have the right to be seen as a person as well. And the only person in this video, or the only comment that made me really happy, was the last one, who basically said, I'm happy with you the way you are, whatever colour. And yeah, I completely agree. I think you're pretty much the only person in this video who actually got it. I understand where you're coming from. I understand why you're angry, but I don't think the way you're solving this problem, or trying to solve it, the problem of racism, I don't think that's the right way to solve the problem. You can't eliminate hate with hatred. You know, it's kind of like the saying, bombing for peace is like fucking for virginity. I would just really appreciate if everyone just treated one another with love and respect. And yeah, one of my biggest wishes is for equality and peace on earth, which might sound pretentious. I know someone's gonna say that, but that is what I truly think, like truly inside my heart. And it's just kind of kindergarten. I don't know, it's kind of, is it some kind of revenge you're taking on us? I don't know. All I can say is this video really hurt me, and I would really appreciate it if you maybe apologized. I know you're probably not going to. I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate on this video, but yeah, I'll just take it on me. I really don't care. But yeah, thanks for watching and have a lovely day. Peace and love.